Hello everybody, it's Jochen Hayden, and I'm back with the Desert Wolf versus Loka campaign. This is December 11th, 1941. Tugugurao, captured by the Japanese. Ah, finally, landing at Wake. I was wondering when he was going to do this. Let's see how this turns out. Okay, what are we landing here? Let's find out. Two naval guards. Well, one naval guard unit and a second SNLF. Eh. We'll see how that goes. I'm not saying that's not enough, but I usually come in a bit stronger in my games. Okay. Some weird stuff going on right now. Oh, wow. Triton's taking some damage here at Wake. Let's see how bad it is. 4 hits on the Triton. Remind me to look at that ship after the combat's over. Oh, bummer. Yeah, these Dutch subs, man. Bane of my existence. And they're going to camp out right outside of Kuching here, so as soon as he comes out of that hex, he's going to have to deal with them. I'm sure that's going to sink. Yep, there it is. Okay, this is a Japanese sub. It camped out on the other side of this strait here. I know it has an official name, but I just call it the Merak Strait since this is Merak and Osthaven. I believe a Java battle was fought here with the Houston in World War II, but I don't recall the name of it. So we're just going to call it the Merak Strait. And this thing is definitely dead. Oh, Lieutenant Butcher. Okay, looks like we got a lone Clemson class going after all these guys. I'm not sure what one of these will do. But this isn't very well escorted. Let's see how it goes. We're going to run it. Not too much. I don't think any of these ships are going to sink. And the William B. Preston takes 2 shell hits. Here we go. You know, I was worried about this. Why are these guys still hanging out here? Is this the Adelaide? Yes, the Adelaide is what I like to call slow but deadly. She's not very fast, but she packs 6-inch guns, and that should be enough to destroy these guys. And they're already damaged. So let's run this and let's see what the Adelaide can do here. Nothing. It's slow, so I'm sure that the Japanese ships are able to disengage at will. Oh. Ooh. Marblehead barely dodged those. Okay, so we have a bombardment task force coming into Wake, presumably to soften up the defenders before the attack today. Not much was accomplished with that. Oh, another try? Another try? Oh! That... That's some bad luck. Man, that's some Mark 14 crap right there. Marblehead should be dead right now. Come on. Something's sinking. I don't know. Something Japanese, I guess. Okay, he's starting to land at Hollandia. I think those bases up in all these bases are gonna start to fall pretty quick here. Okay, Nauru. Beaufort. Okay. Second SNLF. This time, during the daytime phase, a 5-inch gun looks like it hit this AKO. Uh-oh. That's the Houston. Well, let's see what she can do. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Wow. Okay, Houston. Nice job. So it sinks the Minigumo. Anything exciting here? No. Minigumo hit. Natsugumo hit. Asagumo. We'll listen for sinking sounds because that might actually sink too. The Asagumo. Good job, Houston. Man. Now, I'm assuming this is the William B. Preston again. This time it has a better chance of doing something because these little patrol boats aren't much of an escort at all. Let's run it. Much better this time. So the William B. Preston does a lot more damage this time because these escorts just don't really count as escorts. They're completely garbage. So one ship sunk and several others damaged. Good job. That's an AV. Is that an AVD? Oh my god. Oh! Mark 14! We got a Mark 14 at Pescadores. Or Pescadores. Good job, Porpoise, getting one in there. Dog. Oh! That's a mine hit. Oh no! Dang. So this is one of the ships that was damaged by the Houston. It's finished now. It's got to be finished. That's going to sink. Uh-oh. Houston. I don't know if it's actually going to engage or not because it's probably out of ammo. Yep, see? I'm guessing they're going to... Well, maybe not. Wow, it's going to do it. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe not. Yeah, they break off. They're breaking off because these guys try to get away because they don't want to get attacked. And the Houston is out of ammo, so it doesn't want to fight anymore. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Okay, and it has to sink now. Come on. There it is. Jeez. That's some bad luck right there. My goodness, my dog is making so much noise back there today. I'm assuming that giant blob near Midway is Kirubutai and what's left from the invasion. In case you're wondering, that's me hitting the spacebar to fast forward through this stuff. Oh man, a lot of sweeps at Singapore, so I'm assuming this is going to be some sort of bombing raid. Okay, big raid coming into Clark Field. Uninspiring hits today because we're bombing from the stratosphere. Although when you add all these hits up, they will do something to the place. Just by sheer quantity of bombers coming in there. Okay, with that many sweeps over Singapore, there has to be a bombing raid going in. Okay, this is a big concentration of bombers hitting Shenyang, so I'm assuming he's going to be attacking here today. We have a unit in here. That's dangerous going into Rangoon with no escort. Oh, he's getting a little angry at Hong Kong here. Look at this. He's targeting a ground attack for Hong Kong. Oh, look at this. P-40 Warhawk damaged at Kukong. I wonder what this is about. We'll have to see. Ah, cap trap. Cap trap. Warning. Warning. We got a cap trap. So, in case you were wondering, that's where the P-40s are from. They're flying out of Kukong with a cap trap today. Oh, this is gonna be bad. I know what this is like. I've been there, done this before. Good night, Idas. Ugh. So, real quick before I go on, I want to make one point here. Desert Wolf taught me something during my last campaign with Helson. And he said basically something to the effect of, don't just bomb for the sake of bombing. Bomb when you have to, when you need to. Don't send these raids off to blow up these little random Chinese units scattered all over the place because they don't give you anything. We're not getting anything out of this. All it does is exposure to cap traps and ops losses and all that stuff, and there's no gain. He said if you're going to bomb something, make sure it's serving a direct purpose that you need. You're attacking this turn, you're going to break out. You're trying to destroy the airfield to stop fort building. You're doing supply hits. Something that's worthwhile, that's adding value, do those attacks. Don't just send IDAs that will go bomb some random Chinese unit, because this is what happens. So I've tried to do my best to live by that ever since I've gotten that advice, and I feel like I lose less aircraft as a result. I still get cap trapped sometimes, but not doing this kind of stupid stuff where there's no value added. There's our big raid that we were expecting. Let's see how the flak does against these guys. Wow. Like, there's nothing. Where's the flak at? What the heck? Why does his flak not hit him if flak hits me? Right? I can't bomb Singapore with those flak units in there without getting ripped up. Anyway, he does damage some aircraft that were hit from the bombardment last turn. See, bombing here makes sense because he's trying to dislodge these Chinese units, so it's worth the risk, right? Absolutely no flak hitting these guys. What's up? Oh! Okay, again, what are we doing here? Did we have to bomb Pegu this turn? Probably not. And here we go. We're going to get cap trapped because of it. Again, another... These bombers should be going after the airfield in Hong Kong. They should not be bombing this unit. Again, see this? Useless bombing rate. It serves no value. Especially when you're bombing from 15,000 feet. See this attack? Useless. No value added. Why are we doing this? You're just risking aircraft. Bombing these troops in Wuchao is not going to do anything. Especially at 15,000 feet. Golly. All these unescorted raids are making me go nuts, man. There's no need for this. Group them up with fighters. Don't send them on these raids like this. This, I get this, because there's a low chance of fighters being this far south. But again, what are we getting by bombing this unit? That's bold. Look at that. Desert Wolf using his Chinese bombers for resource hits. And that's... Wow. Let's do it again. Nice. It doesn't look like much, but these could actually be damaging more than 1 or 2 resource centers per hit. Okay, B-17 is going into Minato. I like this move because it's just going to delay him being able to stand that base up. Good. This is good stuff. This is smart. I like the way he's doing this because he knows that there's no fighters here yet. So get in here and damage the base and delay its stand-up. And why are these Bettys carrying bombs? Because there's no air HQ, and we're bombing from 10,000 feet. Good luck hitting anything from there. Okay, a good good AM fate. Ooh, listen to that. Ooh, that's a lot of ships sinking, guys. Man, not good for Loka at all. All right, I'm gonna expedite through these. Here we go. You know, those unescorted bombing raids to Wenchao are very dangerous. Oh, we get some... Oh, this will be fun. Oh, yeah, you can expect these guys to get tore up. Those stupid kingfishers, man. Oh. Oh. Oof. It looks like these Catalinas are carrying bombs. Why are they carrying bombs? Well, anyway, I'll say this. Rookie mistake by Loka to not have any kind of cap on these ships. As long as there's air power in the Philippines, you have to assume that there's going to be naval attacks. And this is just kind of unnecessary. To be losing these ships like this, there should be long-range cap flying out of Lingayen over this task force. Over any task force here operating. These seagulls rarely miss. There you go. I don't know what it is about these seagulls, but they never miss. Yep, look at that. Good job. Okay, hitting Guam because why not? And more unescorted aircraft going into Rangoon. More Bettys carrying bombs from 10,000 feet hit nothing on naval strike. Okay, PM phase in the books. I would say another good one for the Allies. Okay, that's another Japanese ship sinking. My guess is they lost about 10 ships today, at least. All right. Ooh, the Congo. What's the Congo doing over here? So we got the Congo and a bunch of other stuff. The K-17 takes 2 hits. That ship takes another hit there. Oh, now we're landing at Menace. We walk. Hawaii sure looks quiet after all that craziness, right? Okay, land combat. Let's see what we get here. Japanese shock attack Lafoa. This probably should be enough to take out this guy. And they surrender. There you go. So that's basically it for New Caledonia. The Japanese have secured the whole island. Well, let me rephrase. They've taken out all the troops on the island, and now they just need to take Kumak and the rest of the surrounding stuff. Japanese deliberate attack of Hong Kong. My guess is that this will not be successful. Let's find out. It was a better day than what they've had. Yeah, this is better today. Okay, so the Japanese lose, a pretty high amount of squads destroyed. However, they also take a lot of ours. And I would say here we're down to what? A little under 100. He's probably about 500. Maybe one more turn and they get the fort down. So, getting close to the end at Hong Kong, but it's taken a while. Okay. A shock attack at Georgetown. Not unexpected in the least. There it is. Sambas. Right. This should go pretty well for the Japanese. They have quite a bit of force here to take this out. Okay. So he put the regiment to be the lead and the S and left unit to pursue. Unfortunately, they're going to pursue them in a really crappy terrain that's really off the beaten path here. Japanese shock attack for the Lusu War area. I've been through this before, where you bring in these Chinese army units and do shock attacks. You have unbelievable AV advantage, and you still get nothing done. It's like these guys don't even want to fight. Okay, Nauru, this will be easy. Oh, here we go. Wake shock attack. I don't honestly know how this is gonna go. Actually, I do. Terribly. For the Japanese. Oh. Yep. Just what I was worried about. That is a showstopper for the Japanese. That basically completely eradicates their force. Yikes. Yeah. You cannot... I'm sorry. Wake, you need to come in with the sledgehammer and completely blast the place. This is not enough. Some people can probably get it done with that. I don't particularly find that viable. So I come in at least with the regiment. At least. When I can. Or 3 naval guards or something more than this. Because this now, what this is a bunch of 2 marooned Japanese units that have no more combat power. And they're just going to die to attrition. Unless he does something about it. This was bad. Big mistake. He came in way too light. Kavieng. And they hold there. And again, coming in too light. The allies here inflict casualties and nothing happens to them. And Davao. This is going to fall without a fight because looks like Desert Wolf evacuated already. Sarong. This is pretty easy to take. Allied bombardment. Uh-oh. Now, look at this. It's barely 2-1 now. That's not enough to take Wake. Okay, guys, we're back. Let's take a look at this turn. All right, so you already heard what I said about these aircraft losses today, but something's happened since I've watched this turn. I've had a couple bad days of my own campaign with Macho. If you're watching that campaign, you'll see them in a few days. I got cap trapped really hard, way worse than this, so I need to be careful not to sound like a hypocrite and be too critical on Loka, because I'm guilty of the same stuff. However, in my campaign, I feel like when I'm getting cap trapped, it's attacking things that need to be attacked. He's attacking Chinese units in the middle of BFE, which is Bum F Egypt, and getting shot for it. So I'm getting cap trapped too, but at least I'm doing it for a reason. So I'll leave it at that. 6 for us, 26 for the Japanese today. Looking at the ship sunk, not a great day for the Japanese here. Looks like, let's sort it like this. A cruiser mine layer, a patrol boat, and 2 frontline destroyers were lost today due to action with the Houston and subsequent torpedoing and other miscellaneous stuff. So that's kind of unfortunate. Army loss points are looking pretty decent right now. To see this many Army loss points this early on is pretty hard to imagine. I've got maybe 50 more, 60 more than he does. Nah, call it. Hey, okay, I've got 100 more than he does, but I'm 2 months ahead of him. So, yeah, not so great. And there you go. There's the score. Holding steady for the Allies. Taking a look at the map here, we see Kirubutai and the remainders of whatever that invasion was limping away. My guess is that they're heading back for the home islands. So that's the end of the Japanese invasion attempt to Hawaii. It's just limping away pathetically, having lost of us over 100 aircraft and an entire brigade, destroyers, light cruisers, battleships heavily damaged. This was one of the biggest shutdowns I've ever seen at the beginning of a campaign. Granted, I haven't been watching this game for that many years, but I've never seen anybody get blasted this hard out of the gate. I think he just underestimated Desert Wolf here. Anyway, going around the map here, I want to show you this. Look at this disaster. These are all the Allied subs that are allowed to leave Manila, and now they're all setting up and getting ready to wreak havoc with the Japanese. I would hate to be the Japanese dealing with this so soon. Normally, if you have a conventional game, you kill a lot of subs in Manila, and you don't really start seeing American subs off the home islands until mid to late January, February timeframe, if that. And Loka is about to see these guys now. And I want to show you something. Do you see these patrol hexes here? Do you notice something about them all? They're all in deep water. So this is really good for DW, because the bulk of the Japanese ASW ships carry Type 95 depth charges, which have shallow water capability only. So as long as you hang out in these hexes, you're almost impervious to any kind of depth charging, because you can dive deeper than they can hit you. So that's why all of the, look at this over here. See this? He purposely set these guys up in deep water because you know you can't get hurt there. That sucks for the Japanese. Aye. Okay. So in China, I'm starting to see what's going on here. And I can't say that I'm that impressed. He's allowing this Fortress Wenchao thing to happen. Okay. We're already building up forts. We're already moving in a lot of extra troops here. And the more troops that get in here, the harder it's going to be to take this place. Wenchao is such a pain in the butt to take as the Japanese, because it's on times 3 terrain, and it's got forts, and it's got quite a bit of AV in there. So every day that goes by makes it harder and harder to take this place. And it creates its own supply. Not only does it have industry, but it makes 80 supply a day just sitting there. And it also gives you another, let's see, 160, 180 supply a day from their industry there. No, let me take that back. 120. Yeah, it's, to me personally, I find it critical to take Wenchao out ASAP in my campaigns. And if you do it right, there's nothing that the allied player can do to stop it. Also, I would have expected an attack on Chang Chao within the next day or two, and I'm not seeing it yet materialize. So we'll see what he does with this. But this is not the vector that I would use. Also, I am a little surprised that he gave up I Chang that easily. In my campaigns, I find I Chang to be absolutely crucial to the Japanese because it gives you some standoff range and allows you to reach into Chungking, Kianko, all these bases over here, which is basically 10 hexes away, which is the normal range of your Sally bombers, right? It puts all these important bases within range. And I personally like to defend it a little harder. Now, it is on clear terrain, which makes it hard, and the Chinese can bring a lot of AV here, right? They got, what, 1,400 there, 400 there, 300 there. They have a lot, but you can bring a few divisions up here and hold it. With bombers, you can make this so that they can't take it. I would not give this up if I were the Japanese, but he did. And now he's going to have to pay for it to get it back. It's just going to make it harder for him. And I see a thrust here moving towards Changsha, which personally I think is a terrible idea as a Japanese because the Allies can get a couple thousand AV into here. You're on urban light terrain with size 4 forts. Good luck taking that right now without a huge commitment of forces. When I played Lodric in my first ever play by email, I held Changsha until February, and I caused thousands and thousands of casualties for him before he finally outflanked the thing. But I held it forever and made it a big pain in the butt for him. So trying to take it this early is not going to work. I don't know. I'm not liking the China strat so far. It's not working for me. Not even we're going to talk about Burma because there's been no activity here, but that doesn't mean that they're not on the way. Okay. Philippines. This is not the Philippines. This is Singapore. Malaya, even more so. He is going for the... is going to do some sort of Mersing gambit here. And he's already got here to cut this rail line. But honestly, it's too late now. Because the bulk of the troops that need to get out have already gotten out. We have 188 AV in Johor, which are about to cross over soonish. Okay. On top of that, you have another 751 or 730 in Singapore. So the bulk of the AV that's up here got out. He was too slow. So this whole Mersing Gambit to me doesn't work if you don't cut off the troops ASAP. Meaning, if you don't cut this rail line immediately, don't even bother. Because all this AV that retreats south is going to get in there before you can get into Singapore yourself. And because he delayed dropping these troops off, the whole point of this now is moot. Because the troops that he brought here are not enough to take Singapore anytime soon. With almost 1,000 AV in here. Forts are suppressed for now, but who knows how long that's going to last. Because there's so many engineers here. What is it? 155 engineers. And a lot of engineered vehicles. So. Yep, I don't know. I don't like Mersing Gambit if you're not going to do it right on turn 2. That's my opinion. His Borneo strat seems fine, right? He's got Singkuang. He's got Sambas and Kuching. So he's got a nice little base to work off of here. Manado, nothing really happening here. This could be an invasion going into Ambon or Kendari. I see that. We'll have to wait and see. A lot of activity in the Celebes Sea and the Sulu Sea, as you've already seen. But it's like too little too late because we've already gotten so many ships out. Now, Boise is here. And Boise is kind of at risk of getting caught out. We'll see how this goes. Now, these aren't the actual orders that DW is going to be issuing. This is the freeze frame in a moment in time. So next turn, we'll get to see what happens to the Houston, which is here. And we'll also get to see what happens to Boise because they're kind of getting in the middle of a lot of stuff. Philippines. Okay, he's in Clark Field now, but I don't know what that means. Because what I'm seeing here is he's in danger of getting surrounded, right? He didn't do a good job cutting off the guys behind him. He landed in the middle of a bunch of allied units, and guess what? They're gonna come in behind him and surround him, and he's gonna like get stuck in Clark Field. Now, and maybe there's stuff landing here at Apari, but it's kind of late for that now. So I do see the door closing in behind him here pretty quickly. This was not a good move. If you're gonna do this, you got to take all these bases up here and push the allies back in. You don't land behind them and then not fall behind them and take them out. He left them out here, and there's a lot of them, and they're gonna close him behind him and close this hex side right here, and now he's gonna be trapped in there. I don't get it. And what he brought in here is not enough to take Clark Field. We've got 600 AV here, sitting on some forts on that good terrain. There's a bit of AV in Manila. He did land troops here at Malbon, but those aren't enough to take Manila either. So I just don't get the whole Luzon strat. I've already said this before. You either slow roll this thing like Desert Wolf likes to do, or you slam it really super hard like I did. But this half-ass kind of in-between thing is just going to get him in trouble, I think. Okay, he took the vow. It's not a big deal. Okay, Solomon's. Again, in my opinion, he's moving too slow here. He barely came in with anything for a ball. He did not bring enough for Kavieng. So I don't know what his goal is here. I don't get it. Oh, what's this? Wow. Okay, that's cool. So Desert Wolf is moving troops to Torres Strait. Now, I'm not quite sure why. Oh, now I'm sure why. Look at this. He's going to make this place a unholy hell for the Japanese to take. So I see what's going on here now. He's bringing in troops and leaving them here at Torres Strait, because this is a base that a lot of people like to take. Okay, he's already working on the forts, and here's the deal with Torres Strait. This is a island base, so if we look at this, it's okay. It's an atoll, so that means that you have to shock attack when you land here, and you do not want to be shock attacking into that much AV with forts, because it's not going to be pretty. But there's absolutely nothing that Loka could do about this. It's not feasible to take this base, Horn Island, until you take Port Moresby. So we're weeks away. He's just in for a nasty surprise when he gets here. That's all I'm saying. And I'm not. This is nothing against Loka-sen. I guess there's nothing he can do to fix this. But yeah, it sucks. Boy, this sucks. I'm glad I'm not him right now. All right, we got the Voyager and the Adelaide, which had an inconclusive battle last turn, but they are harrowing these poor Japanese destroyers that were damaged near Noumea a few days ago. So we'll see what happens with these guys. I don't see them getting out of here at all. They're not going to make it. All right, and nothing to say about New Caledonia. I don't see any activity here. Lastly, let's do a quick checkup on Canton Island. Still waiting on everything to get here. So the carrier is about 1 day out. The Lexington will be there in 1 day. The Indianapolis Task Force is going to be there in, let me see here, 3 days. And it looks like, where is the other carrier? We're missing a carrier. Where is it? That's Lexington. Oh. Oh. Oh, wow. Okay. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Okay. So I thought these guys would combine and go forward, but it looks like Desert Wolf has already got the Enterprise moving forward anyway. He's not waiting for anything else. So Enterprise is moving towards Suva, at least for now. I'm sure there'll be subsequent moves we'll see in other turns, but my guess is he's moving to cut off any further expansion into Noumea. And I was worried about this, and I don't think Loka-sen thought this through, because there's no way he's got any aircraft down here that can deal with that. So, yeah, it's not looking good, guys. I want to be optimistic, and I want this to be a viable campaign. But with the strategy decisions that I've seen thus far by Loka, the losses he's taken, and the just incredible disregard for losses, and this extremely extremely aggressive strategy against somebody who's really good about dealing with this sort of thing, it's got me a little concerned about the long-term viability of this campaign. But I'm going to keep covering it, and I'm going to hope and keep my fingers crossed that Loka gets his act together and starts taking this seriously, because Desert Wolf is not the kind of guy you sleep on. He's the best. I mean, I owe so much to him and what he's taught me about this game, and I'm better for it. I still make mistakes. You're going to see some in a couple days on my campaign. They're bad, but it's not because of anything he taught me. It's because I'm not as aware and clairvoyant, if you will, as Desert Wolf is. Like, he can see things 3 miles ahead. I don't see them until they've already happened, and that's just something you learn with experience. But basic strategy and core mechanics, I learned so much of those from Desert Wolf, and I think Loka could have done a better job of doing some research into who he was playing. But, you know, let's cheer for him now, guys. He needs a little boost. So let's cheer for the Japanese player, because he's absolutely the underdog right now in this one. I'll catch you guys in the next one.